know, should Lloris have lost the captaincy or more over this? And this is very, very, it's dodgy, but should a fine be relative to the amount you earn? Do you want footballers to start paying more for their water or their gas? Our newsreader, Jenny Barsby, has joined us now with some stats regarding Hugo.
Okay, so I was looking into this because it's only been relatively recently in the last year that the fine system and the way they're calculated has changed. And this is actually down to celebrities and footballers who ended up being fined like 250 quid when they earn, say, 4.5 million. Compared to Joe Bloggs on the street who earns 27 grand a year. That's your average amount. So that's when they changed the scale of the fines and how they're calculated. So I was just looking back here. So basically, the fines are normally based on an A to C rating. So it starts at 50% of your weekly income, 100% of your relevant weekly income, and D is 150%. But it also depends how serious your offence is. So if you're crashing into other people, if you're heavily over the limit, and other mitigating factors.
What's heavy over the limit?
So let's talk about Lloris. Okay, so Lloris was more than 2 times the drink drive limit. He was absolutely drunk. So what they're saying.
How do you know he's absolutely drunk?
Because in the court case, I can tell you, when they stopped him, it was a random stop, as it were, but he was seen erratically driving, clipping cars.
I get that, yeah.
He was driving 15 miles an hour in a 30 limit, so that's already going to raise alarm bells.
That's good.
When he was stopped, and he got out the car, which was a Porsche, he'd been sick in the car already. He had to be helped out of his vehicle. He was very drunk. He's 2 times the legal drink drive limit, but I think he'd had, from what I can see from this case, he'd had a lot very quickly. So he was being showered with drinks. I suppose in a way, you've got a responsibility then if you're the restaurant or bar showering the person with drinks. Well, maybe that's something to think about.
Maybe it was his mates, who were...
Yeah, his mates should have taken the keys off him, though, shouldn't they? And said he can't drive whenever it is. I mean,
if he was in that state, absolutely.
In that state, they didn't realise it was that bad. But
yeah, so he had 80 micrograms of alcohol per 100 millilitres of breath. So the legal limit is 35. So he really was double. And the prosecution during the case said by 2 a.m. he was completely drunk. So this is the reason the court came down hard on him, because if he'd carried on, he could have killed someone, quite literally. Now, if you're Hugo Lloris and you earn, say, I don't know, 5.4 million a year, nice. If you are going to be fined £250, that's going to have no effect on you at all.
50 grand wouldn't.
But it's still a lesson.
Can I just say this? What's he been fined at Tottenham? 2 weeks' wages, much more than 50 grand. So
then he should have got more than a 50 grand fine.
No, he shouldn't. Well, could he get more? So how could he be punished? So you want to punish him twice, then, do you?
I think at the end of the
3 times.
day,
He's punishing enough getting banned for 20 months. I just think that everybody wants to take. Everybody's footballers are so battered today.
But don't you think though, Sam? That...
I don't mind. In this case, what he's done is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But there has to be, when they change it. For me, it's not about the in effect of 250 quid or 50. It's just not. It's the system want more money off us. Not the punish. It's not for the punishment of what he's done.
He could
they just want to take the money off us.
What if he went to jail instead then?
Well, Tony Adams went to jail when he got done, but will everybody go to jail if they get done drunk driving? Then?
Just depends on the level of how drunk you are.
I read in the Times this week, and I think that only 9% of charges are getting to court at the moment. So there's got to be consistency in justice.
I think as well, you've got to say though as well, Sam. These guys, people like Hugo Lloris, are revered by people in the general public, and
human beings.
If that's the type
of beings make a mistake.
But they've still surely got a responsibility to act properly in public.
Well, you can't act properly. You can't be an angel 24/7, 65. 52 weeks a year.
But there are many people in any form of life. There will be bankers, there'll be cleaners, and they will.
What about guys that drive with no licence? And
well, that was that period. That was just a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Another footballer.
Do they get an extreme sentence like that? Do they get a fine like that? I don't think.
I believe that he got a massive fine. I can't remember the name of it now. He got a huge fine, and it was bigger than the 50 grand. I think it was nearly £85,000 if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I check. I mean, Sam, what do you think would be fair then for someone like Lloris? As I've just explained to you.
Well, he's already got fined by the club. So he's already get fined 2 weeks' wages by the club, and he's as as Moose said, somebody might lose his job. But only loses his job for drink driving if they do the job as a driver for their work. If he's an office worker, he wouldn't lose his.
No,
lose
they
his
do.
Job.
They lose their license.
No, not all. They lose a license. Don't lose
Drink
the job.
driving. Yeah, but if I say
Not if they got an office job and they can get into work without.
But
without driving.
say me here now. If I was done for drink driving, I would lose my job because I could not get here to work. I would never risk it.
Yes, well, I know that, but not everybody loses the job when they get drink driving.
I got done. I never lost my job.
Yeah, but I can't afford to get a cab from where I live into
get
here.
one of your mates to bring me in. So you wouldn't lose your job. Fletch can bring you in.
Fletch can bring me in. Thank you very much.
Right. Oh, God, what have you done, Lloris? Tune this to
Right about now, NWA quarters in full effect.